Okay, welcome to part 2. It's time for the wibbly wobbly camera bit, where the camera goes like this and I go like that and everybody gets seasick. Which reminds me sort of that, oh god, what's the name of the film? Cloverfield. Finally got to see that the other night. So Iron Man, Indiana Jones. I like that film. I don't know what everybody's going on about, I think it's brilliant. You just got to suspend disbelief, you know, just pretend you're a kid. I suppose it's easier being a father, but what else did I watch? Yeah, finally caught up on The Colour of Magic that was on Sky Television, the Perry Pratchett novels. Big Pratchett fan, by the way. Finally got to watch that, so I've been catching up on my films lately. Now in this one we're going to talk about the subject of kids television, because I like to think of myself as a bit of an expert. One, I've been a child. Two, now I'm a dad, and Kane's at the age where he likes to watch television. You get to see rather a lot of it. Now, especially as I'm freelance, I do a lot of work in the house. You know, I'll be sitting, you know, I'll set the PC at one end of the room, and he'll be watching television at the other, leaving Daddy to work, in theory. Now, sometimes when you're having a bit of a coffee break or something, you'll sit down and you'll watch these programmes. And I've noticed a bit of a pattern. Now, old kids' TV, when I was a kid, right, you had all your usual programmes like Rainbow and stuff like that. They were all slightly surreal. They had real people in them. They weren't written by committee in a little room somewhere and then passed through a chain of child psychologists, which meant they were very warped, very strange, and some of them, you know, were just off the wall. Magic Roundabout, you know, can you imagine that nowadays, the original Magic Roundabout being shown on television? Well, not in the daytime anyway. Bagpuss, brilliant, completely off the wall, right? Made by real people. Bagpuss, incidentally, there's only 6 episodes were ever made. They were made in somebody's garden shed. Brilliant television. Danger Mouse, the Transformers, you know, brilliant television. What have you got nowadays? Well, they're going through a bit of a remake thing, haven't they, for the last few years? So, they've taken good television programmes like, let's pick one at random, a good example. Fireman Sam, right? Now the original Fireman Sam, I know because we've got the DVDs for Kane in the house, was set in a small Welsh village. Lots of regional Welsh accents, lots of good characters. It was very well written, and in fact, even if you're not a kid, you can sit down and watch it and you're not going to be bored out your head. So, a few years back, what do? They decide to remake it. So what do? They turn it into a CGI fest, which, to be honest, even though I do 3D, right, sometimes you don't need 3D, right, at all. So I thought, well, fair enough, maybe it's a bit quicker and cheaper. I can overlook that. Then you look at the fact that they've basically removed all the Welsh accents, or toned them down so much it's unreal. And you're looking at what they're doing is they've done the same thing with Thomas Tank Engine. In fact, Controller's not there anymore now. He's Mr. Topham Hatt. Noddy. They don't have big ears anymore. They don't get into bed together, which is a bit weird, but it's no different to Mortimer and Wise, the comedians. You know, used to like nobody used to think twice that they'd be lying in bed telling jokes and like, you know, in a little sketch. You know, it's harmless stuff. Now, some of the programs were on the cusp, if you know what I mean, before they started getting this weird, everything's got to go through a child psychologist thing. Was a particular favourite of mine is Balamory. Now, why? Now, Balamory, you can tell, has been made by a regional TV sort of company, production company, somewhere in Scotland, right? It's obviously made on the cheap, right? You can tell by the really ropey CGI and stuff, which is fair enough, you know. But what I really like is the fact the characters are real, alright? Every single one of them looks like they've been hit by the ugly stick, right? In fact, the ugly fucking forest. But it's well written for children. If it was made nowadays, it'd be full of all these massive sort of, you know, big butch sort of semi-effeminate men from model agencies and lots of women that look like they've just stopped pole dancing. Kids don't want that. They want realism, right? They want characters. They want things, you know, that's going to learn them something. They don't want to see an identical show. So Balamory, when you look at it, is actually pretty damn brilliant. Now, there's some stuff that I initially wrote off, and I've now started to look a bit closer and realise they're actually rather groovy. Current favourites of Kane and myself, Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse. I used to hate that, but then after seeing about it about 400 times in a week, you start getting past the stage of wanting to kill Walt Disney should he ever arise from his grave, and start looking and seeing the genius that is Disney. Now, I've watched it enough now to realise that Disney have a specific animation style. I don't mean that's like it looks like Disney. The way the characters move, they actually still animate. You can tell in the stop motion style. they'll animate between action poses. That's what it is. It's just a collection of really, good dynamic action poses, and that's what makes Mickey Mouse, behave like Mickey Mouse and not just a guy with big ears sort of thing. Brilliant stuff when you actually look at it. Also quite into doodle bops at the moment. In fact, it's rather strange because Cat's getting into it as well. In fact, there's times when I've had a stand-up argument with Kane because I want to watch doodle bops. It's just strange things to you being a dad. Many years ago I'd rather watch the news, but no, not now. I want to watch the doodle bops. There's a really surreal one though that is in the spirit of the old TV, shows, called Bunny Town. Now I haven't got a fucking clue what that's supposed to be about. Just a lot of bunnies doing crazy shit and basing an excuse. They have a lot of strange bunny type characters doing comedy sketches, but it's good, right? Doing very well. That's another good one. See how much time we've got. Oh, we've only got 3-4 minutes left. Now I like Lazy Town, right? Because it's well done. They've done a really good job of it, which obviously because it's a major worldwide success and phenomenon. But you can tell a well thought out kids show because they haven't just rammed it together and think anything will do for kids. No. We'll go back to the doodle bops, right? Each one of the songs there, you think, well, out of maybe 10 songs over, so many episodes, 8 of those could quite comfortably get a number 1 if they're released as a single. Alright? I'm not saying a lot, but it shows that they're putting a lot of thought into it. These songs could very easily be, reappropriated for whatever the latest pop star is. They've done a good job of that. You can tell in Lazy Town they're using cutting edge technology. This is not kids TV on the cheap. Kids TV on the cheap is basically an excuse so that a production company can take a little money off the BBC or Sky or wherever, or the Disney Channel, and then piss the money up against the wall and make something in a few weeks, and the rest of the time you spend having a party, right? It's time that they started realising kids are not idiots. They're just little people, right? They're no different to adults. So let's give them the credit to which they deserve, okay? Let's try and make some good programmes. Go back to the old stuff. Let's have another Camberwick Green. That was bloody excellent. I'm still trying to look for that on DVD. I want to show my son Windy Miller. I'm trying to collect a lot of the old stuff because he likes that more than some of the modern stuff. So there you go. Kids vote with their feet. And kids, like Kane, have definitely voted with theirs. He prefers the old stuff like I did. What does that say about modern kids television? Probably the majority of it's shit. So there you go. There's my immense monologue and my opinions, for whatever they're worth, on kids television today, from my point of view as a dad. Feel free to answer it with your own video, with your point of view. There's no right and wrong in this. It's only different. But I think most people agree that badly thought out kids TV that patronises kids is a bad thing, right? Let's bring some quality back. I'm sure it's hell if adults can have the occasional bit of quality television stoking kids, right? I'll catch you all next time. Don't know when that'll be because it depends when the move is, how bloody stressed I am when I've got 5 minutes to myself. Right? See you next time. Bye bye.